So the last time you guys were in North America, you were with Marduk, Inquisition, and so you're here this time around headlining on the tour. So compared to your last time here, what are you guys going to try to do different this time around?
Well, we can try a lot of different stuff. Obviously, that all the North American territory, Canada and the US, we're still struggling. So it's good to make these headlining shows in order to gain more fans, more momentum. To probably our goal is try to achieve a kind of status that we already have achieved in Europe. We don't take anything for granted, but we worked more years in Europe, so we kind of attract more people there. But we know it's all a process, and the headliner show, it's very, very important at this time, because with Marduk we had a 60-minute set. Sometimes we had to cut it because there was a package tour, a moto tour. Everybody obviously wanted to play for their audience, but within the day sometimes it was hard, for us on Marduk, that we were co-headlining, to make our complete show. So this time around we don't have this problem. So even when it comes to repertoire, we can definitely play a lot more songs the fans were expecting to see on the other occasions, and that's what making the shows successful and good. It's the repertoire and the way that we can deliver it to people with more time, without stress, just because we get to close the night.
Yeah, nice. What would you say is your most rabid fans? You guys have toured everywhere, right?
Well, when you like Moonspell, and when you do get the music, when you do get the time to be into the band, I think all our fans are diehard. And all the countries we have visited throughout the world, from Asia to Africa, when people know us, they're really into it. It's this kind of band that you cannot just listen as an entertainment or something that you're going to listen today and drop it tomorrow. Our fans have a lifetime relationship with our records, and that happens fortunately all around the world. And what I'm noticing in North America, even though the crowds are getting bigger, they're still not at the level that we would like to, but everybody that comes to the shows know the lyrics by heart. They know the records.
They come to see you, and
they buy a lot of merchandise. It's it's our fans. This tour definitely has pulled up a lot of our fans that have seen us working hard on this territory for the past 11 years, because it is already the 11th time we come here to tour in North America. So I think what happens in Portugal is that on top of that, there's a big national pride, a national identification for all the achievements that Moonspell has done as a Portuguese metal band, because unfortunately it's not every day that a band comes up from a country that is not Germany or Scandinavian countries or North America or the UK, and can achieve something. It's really harder for us from South Europe. So I think the Portuguese fans do react to that strongly, because they know how hard it is, because they have bands as well. Some of them to break out of Portugal.
Is the metal scene quite large in Portugal?
Well, we have metal scene since the late 70s, early 80s, with some bands, some veterans that they had a hard time, because Portugal was not a country where a punk culture, or rock culture, or metal culture was something powerful in the 60s or in the 70s, because we had a right-wing dictatorship. So that stuff kind of got censored. So everybody was catching up in the 80s. So a metal scene was born. There were shows. I attended some shows of these mythical Portuguese bands like Iberia or Tarantula. And then with the 90s, there was more shows coming up. There was people forming bands, and we were really into the avant-garde metal, the black and the gothic. So we did an album. And we did our career more towards this our musical inclination. So we kind of took off, and we kind of became an important mark also in the Portuguese scene, which is great for us because we were kids going to the shows, chatting with the older bands, and all of a sudden, you know, we'll be remembered as well as they are by people our age that listen to metal in the in the beginning of the 80s. So, and I think nowadays the scene is stronger than ever. Really, there's you know, industrial, there's rock, there's punk, there's a lot of metal bands, many styles, post-rock.
Many genres are coming out.
Many genres, and very good bands. My only thing I say about Portugal is that I think sometimes Portuguese bands are happy of being in Portugal. And Portugal is a great country, but not a country where you can have a career just playing this kind of stuff. So I always advise them, you know, to work hard and also to play abroad, because there's a world war out there, and
absolutely.
And I'm sure that people will definitely be keen in listening more Portuguese metal.
So when you guys first started out, obviously you had sort of a message. Does that message still hold today? You know, when Moonspell first started out, whatever that was, do you guys still continue that message, or has it changed?
I believe so. I mean, people change. Life on the road changes you.
Yeah.
You know, what you expect is never what happens in a way. But I think Moonspell kind of likes this challenge. You know, we want to like impose ourselves, but not following any musical lead on any musical trend. So probably it's a longer route, but that's what we stand for. We stand for creating fine songs. With atmosphere, with message, with intelligent lyrics, and also to bring a little bit of depth into our music.
So each album has that sort of progression then?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe so.
yeah.
The progression, a new concept. They're all new albums, so I don't believe, you know, I believe, and our fans do as well, that we did great albums for the time, like especially the new, the old albums, the first albums. They will always be very loved by the fans, like I love first Maiden or Slayer albums, you know.
Yeah.
So we kind of could start in a good way, you know, with Wolfhard and the religion, and then it's always the challenge to keep it interesting. But so far we had no problems, because we believe in our music and we'll fight for it, and it's just a question of every night, you know, just getting new fans and getting new people into your songs and into the way that you are in the band. You know, it's a long process, but that's why, you know, we tour so much.
So you guys are currently with Napalm Records.
Yep.
You guys signed in 2012. How did that come about?
Well, I think they did a great job. It's hard for everyone.
Did they contact you, or did you?
Yeah, we got
them?
offer. We got offer when we got out of Steamhammer SPV. We got a couple offers. Intermedia, Napalm Records is a mist. Other labels, you know, Portuguese labels. So there was a cool demand, label-wise, for Moonspell, because we have a strong back catalog. We have a strong fan community all around the world. So Napalm was very keen in also expanding their roster and to sign some bands that were not particularly inside the genre. They were releasing with more the pyro metal or the symphonic metal. Yeah. And I think it's good for a label to expand. So we're making the new album through Napalm as well. We will fine-tune, obviously, stuff that always happens when you start working with someone, because for instance, Intermedia worked for them for more than 10 years, so it was kind of, let's say, we already had the language together, and they knew very well our goals. But I'm happy, especially in Europe, with the work that Napalm has done for Alphenwar and Omega White.
Yeah, so you see a long future with this particular record label?
I mean, I never know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I think that record labels are still very important, but I believe that the bands, and Moonspell has always been like this, have to be independent. Even though we release through a label, we make our own strategy, we make our own designs, so we try to, we make our own promotion. So there's a structure that we'll be building in and out the labels for years, which I think is the most important thing for the future. When it comes to labels, I mean, we have to see, really. We're not we're not also playing. We're not the newcomer, so we're not playing the labels games.
For sure.
You know, to stress us out and give us shit for our music. That won't happen. That we'll prefer to do the stuff ourselves because we have the means and we have the financial means to invest. That's what we did with Alpha Noir and McGuire. Before any label came into the picture, the album was recorded and done, so there was no commotion around it. So let's see what the future brings for Moonspell. For sure we'll keep releasing albums. We have a new album that contractually is going to be
so you're gonna do
released
2 more,
by
right?
Napalm.
Yeah, so you have the Alpha Noir.
Omega White. There was one album, and now another album. Yeah.
And then, so I sort of read that you're going to do the next one, then the one after. It's kind of like a trilogy. No, it isn't.
No,
okay, so
no, I think that's
I read somewhere wrong then, I guess.
It's not going to be a trilogy. Actually, Alpha Noir and Omega White is a chapter on itself.
Okay.
And now it's going to be a brand new thing.
Okay, completely different thing.
Yeah.
When do you expect a release for that?
Well, when we get back from the tour, we still had a lot of intense demand for festivals and from some other tours in Europe.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, but I think it's time also to take a break because Alpha Noir was out in April and immediately we went on tour in April 2012. So it's almost 2 years of touring. Obviously it's great and we can never stop touring, so we decided just to accept a couple of festivals that we were looking forward to play last year and we couldn't. And we're going to write the album and to start pre-producing it. I think we're looking at early 2015 release.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So currently on tour, that is there anything that you prefer playing live and why? Anything that kind of stands out, like, okay, this is a song that kind of brings that Moonspell?
Well, I think hard about our set list, and I try all the songs on the set list, in a way to be emblematic of the Moonspell music. And there are songs that are a thrill to play, especially because of the way that the artist responds, like Alma Mater or Vampiria, and even some newer, most recent songs. So what we try to do with our set list is try to have like a bit time traveling as well, to be able to play for every sensibility on the crowd. It's hard, but people are reacting well. So I think that for me it's a thrill to play live any song from Axis Mundi up to the last songs like Full Moon Madness, because for me it's about the songs, but it's about everything else, and that's why I personally do it. It's not like I'm a fan of traveling for thousands and thousands of miles, being away from home for months because of the touring lifestyle. It's something that comes with it. Can be fun, can be boring, but for me what's really, really important and what makes a difference is when we hit the stage and when we give it all for the fans.
For sure. So when you're not on the stage or when you're not writing, what do you like to do on your sort of spare time?
Well, I have a kid. He's 2 years old, just like Alpha Noir. So that's my spare time over there.
Absolutely.
I love to walk with my kid. I live in a really cool place in Portugal. There's a lot of green, there's a lot of castles, very historical, so we can go around and raise hell together. That's what I do the most. And then also, as a hobby and as a pastime, I work with books in Portugal, translations. I've translated Richard Matheson, H.P. Lovecraft, horror fiction basically, and I do poetry as well, and I like to read and to just keep myself occupied with words. I think that's my favorite pastime, and then I like to do whatever comes, hang out, drink tequila, smoke
just
weed.
Chill.
Just chill.
Yeah. Okay, man. I think we'll wrap it up.
All right, man.
We're gonna head back inside, and
cool. Enjoy the shows.
I appreciate everything, and thanks for taking the time to do this.
All right,
man.
rock on, metal.